我之前打那个德北开始之前，我也说过了这句话嘛，就是不想输给 EDG 嘛，因为我们春季赛、季后赛的时候我们输给 EDG 了嘛。然后这次上次输了是因为我个人打得不好，我打得不好，所以这次我真的不想输给 EDG。只要我打得好，我们应该不会输。
And you saw at the end of the game there that Doinby honestly looked crushed because in that first game, obviously that's one win away now, or one loss away for Rogue Warriors, and that dropping the entire series to EDG means a lot for Doinby, means a lot for the team, because again, they want to have an undefeated streak going into this Rift Rivals. That would mean so much for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, and remember, they were 10-0 to start this one off, so now 10-1, losing their perfect game score record. Already kind of unfortunate, but you could already see from that video piece that Doinby puts in a lot of emphasis, a lot of faith into every one of these games, these regular season games, because these are 10 weeks of just game after game, and you still see him having such great emotion out of victories, defeats as well. I know EDG means a lot to him to be able to take down, so we'll see. I mean, he's doing it for Guang, he's doing it for Mouse, he wants to do it for that man, so we'll see if it goes to a game 3. Pretty rough game 1 to start it off.
True, but if any team is going to do it against EDG, it would be Rogue Warriors, honestly, to be able to bring it to a game 3. Now, I do want to talk about EDG as a whole, though, because now Haru just came in, finds an MVP performance. Fantastic stuff out from him. He's going to be alongside someone like FLICKR. Now, these two in the jungle have very different playstyles. In the same way, their team also plays differently. FLICKR will go for something like Sejuani. You'll move towards the bottom lane. You'll set up iBoy. Haro is going to be a threat in his own right. We'll see him on Talia. He'll be able to clean up the backsides of team fights. So there are definitely two different styles that we're seeing, but also two different things that you have to think about if you are an enemy team.
So what's the question you're trying to ask me here?
I'm just talking about the differences between Haro and FLICKR.
Okay. Just those differences definitely exist, and I know that we've seen FLICKR on carry junglers in the past. His Nidalee performance a year ago, it wasn't pretty. So FLICKR on carries is definitely not his strong suit. Forcing him to play that, you get some mixed success, a mixed bag, and you know that going into these really rough games, these games that you find in international events, you want to put him back onto these facilitators. Haro seems like if he can forge an identity of being a strong carry jungler, then you can have a 6-man, a real 6-man for EDG. Nothing like, we're keeping every player here. No one is really replaceable. And we have a sub for maybe iBoy on an off day, depending on if he wants a break.
Sure.
But no, a legitimate sub that you can put in just for a swap in styles, and that would make a lot of sense for EDG's jungle.
It would indeed. And remember, for the organization as well, EDG pump out talent. They put a massive amount into the amateur scene. They scout all the time, and they find fantastic players that they put onto their team, and they grow them not only off stage but on stage.
And you'll be seeing these players in the future. I mean, there's a whole host of really strong talent from EDG's squads, from team fighters in the LPL. They have Min, they have BBD.
Yep.
Like, there are so many names that you'll probably be hearing of in 2019.
And beyond.
Yeah, exactly. So this is something that EDG have done consistently. They've built up players, they recognize talent, and if things don't work out, then they always have someone that they could put in towards the machine.
There's a sign down there, Raz, that says, unleash the SMLZ.
Oh my god.
I agree with them. Unleash the SMLZ. Give him a carry. Give him something that he could just pop off on and destroy EDG. Because look at him. He's rearing to go right now. You know he wants to put in that work and carry those eggs.
And I feel bad for Coach Steak. You're put in a position where nothing was wrong with the composition that you've had. But if you want to appease a player or just make it so you have a band-aid, so things like that don't really happen in the early portions of the game, yeah, empower SMLZ. I wonder what his decision is.
All right, what are they going to be able to do? Rogue Warriors are going to ban away the Zoe, the Aurelia, and Nocturne right here. EDG will take away the Kled and Vladimir from Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, once again, they do not want to see Doom Beyond Kled or the Aatrox, so he has to find another champion. We saw the Renekton last time around. I wonder, he won't be able to pick that one up just because Aurelia has been stricken off. There's no reason to have that counter pick.
Yeah, Aurelia taken away as well as the Aatrox, and Talia will be the first pickup here from Rogue Warriors. Also a takeaway from Haro.
Yeah, and remember, Flawless is the early game mage player. He's been famous for his Nidalee, he's famous for his Elise, and now Talia added to his champion pool.
EDG coming in with the first pick of the Camille, and I like the little sneaky hover there over Kale as well, because I know that in a small way, Kale was the start of this whole mess. You know, back with the original Yi, back with the booster comp.
Yeah.
So there we go, just a nice little shout out there, and it will be the Shen pickup for EDG.
Neiko's a fabulous Shen player. I expect that to go bottom lane, unless if there is a real strategy for a bot lane dive composition. But now with the Tahm Kench being picked, I don't see that being the case. Don't think it should be a Shen top lane and a focus on bottom lane dive, because that's a lot of protection there.
Roguewise looking towards the Ashe pick and the Tahm Kench pick in tandem. Often we will see these two together, because that is why the composition works in the first place. So Roguewise will get that one down to SMLZ, which does mean he will get himself an AD carry. Now EDG look towards the Lucian themselves. So iBoy is like, I see your Ashe. Now I'm going to come with something big myself. Of course, can still flex to the mid lane there for Scout, but iBoy would love it for himself.
Yeah, and iBoy has famously said, you know, don't want to see Scout on the Lucian pick at the last Worlds. He's called him out on it. So what I expect is just that Lucian in the bottom lane. iBoy is a phenomenal Lucian player. I love to see him flex it with the Essence Reaver into the game. So, I mean, it's always a possibility. Remember, this laning phase is actually rather difficult. There's a lot of poke in the bottom side of the map with Tahm Kench Q and the Ashe volleys. So, I wonder how that bottom lane is going to fare with EDG without the immediate pressure on their end.
I'm going to follow up with an Ornn ban to complete the trifecta of get Doinby off the roof of these damn tanks. And it will be a Rise to follow up there as well with a Lulu from Rogue Warriors.
Ooh, Lulu being banned out. They know that EDG still need to pick up their mid laner. So you might just also levy another ban, maybe a LeBlanc. I know that Scout has a few champions that he is just so excellent with. And the rest of them are fairly average. So if you just force him out of his comfort picks, oh, so they just don't want him to have the added shields.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense. If your primary down strat is going to be iBoy on this one, then take away the power right here, because you already have Shen, you know, at the same time. So remove as much as you can.
And remember, one of the games that EDG was able to find victory on was based off of the Lucian pick on iBoy. iBoy was able to win a pretty miraculous team fight on Lucian alone. So it's very obvious that if you take away the supportive picks, the ardent sensors, then it makes it a lot easier to pick off iBoy.
Swain comes in for EDG right here, so potential for it to go into the bottom lane, but now it kind of says it could go into the mid lane for Scout now.
Yeah, I'm doubling down. We've seen Scout this split still play the Swain. So
We have.
it's going to put a spanner in the works, sure, for Coach Steak. But you look at this lane and you're saying EDG in the past have played Swain mid and Lucian bottom lane. That's what they should expect.
Rogue Warriors with the Galio pickup, surely for this mid lane. The jungler in tow for Flawless in the form of that Talia. You're expecting a top lane pick, and Mouse has already shown a major affinity towards the Madman of Zorn, so there's a good chance that he just locks it in right here, and indeed he does.
Rogue Warriors composition completed is super beefy. It's at a point where it's so reactive, so if EDG ever start a fight, Galio, Mundo TP, Tahm Kench save, there's so much that just gets SMLZ out of the fight. They have one engage, like one real engage point, and that's going to be the Ashe arrow, because the rest of them need setup. Galio ulti needs setup if you want it to be an engage, and the only person that you could really say can do that is Talia, but Talia as a champion that jumps in, I don't see it happening. So we'll have to see. Right now it's a fairly reactive composition coming out of Rogue Warriors, and EDG looking pretty active with the Camille jungle.
And we also had the cannon coming into the top lane now. It's probably going to be an AD attack speed cannon, but eventually I'm going to get a cast, an AP cannon in top lane, and he's going to go in for those team fights. That's what I've seen. I want to see, because we have seen some cannons go AD, transition with the adaptive stuff into AP. I love it, but I haven't got to see one yet.
It's not going to happen. Blade of the Rune King got buffed with the damage, or at least the gold value.
Yeah,
and then also Gwynsus is just a really good pickup for him. So I do expect a full AD cannon build, and just look for a split push. He's done it in the past.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm still thinking about this Rogue Warriors composition, because you're right. I mean, who is going to go in there so Galio can put his ultimate on top of them? Now, first item Zhonya's, like every single time, just throw the Talia in there, and then you follow up with the Galio on top. There's the possibility, but otherwise, yeah, we'll have to be reactive or just look for those Ashe arrows.
That would be pretty hypey. I ain't against it, unless if I'm supporting the team or the coach of the team, then I'd be like, I actually want you to win.
Yeah.
So it's very odd. Galio is great in both offensive and defensive measures, but you need to be able to set up for it. So it seems like the Galio pick is great if Talia is setting up for a dive. I'll give it this one. If Talia is finding herself at the top side of the map trying to dive, the Kennen makes it a lot easier. The third man coming up the Galio. So the setup is there for Rogue Warriors. I wonder if Ray is going to be kept safe in the top lane.
Question. We head on to the second game now between Edward Gaming, the machine of the LPL, and Rogue Warriors, the challenger.
Really? Really? You're going to give me a TSM chant? Oh, quiet down. I don't want to hear that.
Come on, where's the RNG chant? That's what I'm talking about.
All right, that's a...
I appreciate it, though. If I wasn't wearing a microphone on my head, I would join in with you.
I don't want to hear it. I guess TSM got a victory earlier on, so I suppose...
They did, yeah.
I suppose that's something to be excited about. But put it on Weibo. Don't come out here in a Rogue Warriors EDG match finding a way to put it in the chant.
Well, Raz, you're going to be happy because it didn't get barely any traction in the audience. So everyone's with you. We're united as one LPL crowd here, 500 strong. Or 502, because I guess we're here too. And here we go, into game, Rogue Warriors versus EDG. We're going to have Flawless starting on the top side of the map, running Electrocute. And we're actually going to have Predators on Ray in the top lane here as well.
That's interesting. Usually you'd have Predator to either chase down somebody like a Mundo if you want to be able to catch them, or if you're an AP Kennen and you want to get into the back line. So we'll see what he ends up getting. Cull is fairly standard, just anything that gives you added sustain or AD. But the real question is where he goes from here.
Makes me slightly excited, Raz. There's still a chance, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you better taper that down. That's not going to happen.
I want some slicing maelstroms is what I want. Haru moving to the bottom side of his map, now picking up his blue buff. Will be double buffs and maybe look for a potential move into the bottom lane as there is a big push coming in from SMLZ and Kahlua. And Flawless is just having a bit of a hard time with his red buff right now, but should be okay.
Oh,
there we go.
So this is both junglers going buff to buff. He's going to get caught out in ward here, which is great for Camille. She has two options, either go towards the Raptors or challenge the Scuttle Crab, which you can do with a hook shot. But that being said, SMLZ able to catch her with the hawk shot. Excellent. I just realized.
What's that, Raz?
Hawk shot and hook shot. Put that out there. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Well, luckily, Ash doesn't really just shoot out a hawk shot mid-team fight, so I think we'll be okay.
Hey, you know, I've seen a lot of hawk shot setups for an ultimate. So.
Ah, true. Yeah, but that's at the start of the fight. It would only really be in skirmishes in the bot lane if you're trying to open up a bush or something. Ooh,
right,
just look towards that mid lane.
As Doinby gets smacked around here. This is really bad for Doinby, so he needs to get this one fully shoved in. Usually you're calling for Flawless. He's facing coming right now. So it's kind of awkward. I think he's going to TP back in, and that's when he would call Flawless for a full push.
Yeah, there you go. Flawless is around the area. This is kind of an alpha move out from Doinby right here, because it's saying, just, Scout, you're going to have to shoot my junglers here. He is, but he isn't right there right now. So if Scout wanted to jump on his face, then he would have gotten a bit of harassment down.
It's just good information for Haru. Haru knows based off of what's happening mid lane, there's no way Flawless isn't sitting around the area. So now Haru expecting this. Sure, he's getting pushed out of his Raptors, but really, I mean, he's not going to be surprised ultimately. And that's going to be Talia not getting any skirmishes, pick off. Haru's still on the map, full HP. So I wonder how he's going to utilize it. Take a look at where Haru's going.
I don't know.
Well, straight towards the top lane. So that's going to be nice. He's going to settle himself on right in the second or third push. Depends if he's protecting the lane or if he's looking to get a deep gank. Okay, he's just looking to protect it.
All right, let's take a look at this tree, shall we? Taste of blood, Predator.
Oh no, that's
and
a lot of
what
ultimates.
is that? What is that in sorcery, Raz?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Nimbus, so when you press ultimate, you're a lot faster as well. And then, of course, extra added movement speed. So he's definitely looking to press Maelstrom. I'm just saying.
He could also be moving backwards, not necessarily forwards.
Yeah.
You are right.
It could be the kiting AD, Ken. We'd have to see it. Also, I think you do this. 100% you do this if you are AP. So I'm saying right now, if he wanted to be an AD Kennen, he needed to have press the attack. So I'm going to make a safe bet and say that it is AP Kennen, regardless. And if it isn't, then he made the wrong decision.
You just literally say to me you're hard committing on him being an AD.
But now I have to be
and then
rational.
you come in with the flop, and then
Look,
it's just like, here we go.
Ultimately, I can trust my gut, or I can be rational.
Right.
So the Rational Raz, putting that on Twitter now, that's awesome.
Rational Raz, hashtag Rational Raz.
Hashtag Rational Raz is saying that you get press the attack if you're literally an AD cannon.
That's fair.
And this is literally if you're AP.
But you can't say you're hard committing to something if you go back.
Oh, I say anything I want to. No one remembers it.
The North remembers. Whoa, ooh, splitting the wickets on that one. But Mako will take the full volley to the face and probably go back to base after that one. Luckily, Haro was also in the area. He read this one. So if it was anything deeper, then he would have been there to react.
Yeah. I wonder if Mako's just chomping down at potions. Nah, he's just going to base. He's taking the safe route. It's always interesting to see if that's the case because just moving to actually sticking to the lane. And he's using all of his potions. Okay, there we go. It's always the question. Oh no.
Who will be the superior bird? Find out next time on an episode of Dragon Ball Z. It's Scout. It's Scout. It's Scout.
Yeah, used all 5 of the soul fragments to get the push on that one. That's what's going to happen. Now he's got to rebuild it. I love seeing Scout's Swain end up spring split. His Swain was really strong alongside Xiaohu. And so the real thing was that it felt like every single time EDG started a fight, he had 5 soul fragments because he was really setting up around it. The fights were starting because he had 5 soul fragments, so he was never in an awkward position. So it's nice to see him back on the Swain, and if EDG can play around it once again.
One of the few teams in the LPL who will actually just draft the Swain after the AD carry and be like, yeah, I mean, you know it's going mid because we have Scout on the team. Very rarely do we see that from other people. Usually it's a Swain comes in and you're like, all right, well, it's probably going to be bot lane. Started by Fury of Suning Gaming, so yeah. Nice that they actually have this extra little bit of versatility with their team because of that. Just tracking floors where we go. Going into the top side of the map right now. But we've got recalls across the board. So a pretty quiet early game from both teams. Very different to game 1. But of course, this is a match point for EDG.
And I would say for Rogue Warriors, even though you see the Talia, try to go bottom lane. Not a lot of these lanes are going to be very helpful to make these games happen. We'll say major level is to look towards Duanby. Hitting level 6, you'd expect the play to start from this point forward. Galio wants to be able to push the lane, which is why blue buff is imperative on him. So he can look to obviously look for a dive top lane. I'd say top lane more rather than bottom lane, just because Kennen is so easy to get that across.
Yeah, just buff transfers being completed on both sides right now. And again, as you were talking about, looking towards that bottom lane, 72 farm, 263. As to be expected, this Ashe is going to be annoying with these volleys in the early game, but has started to get the makings of a Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, and with this constant push, he does provide a second option. As you can see, Galio is pinging on towards the bottom side of the map. He's moving there, so it looks like what was going to be, at least talking about the top lane dive, very easily could be bottom lane as well. So take a look at the control wards that can be placed on Rogue Warriors on this side of the map. Here we go. Already paranoia now. No Nocturne, but now EDG as a team is just paranoid about what this possible bottom lane dive looks like. Haro, he's pathing. He cannot path towards his Krugs from this point forward. He needs to be bottom lane from this point forward.
Surely. Here's Flawless. Sitting in the wings, and yeah, iBoy and Mako are just playing it safe, playing it far back, because Arrow, if it's loosed onto either one of them, it could be bad news bears. Yeah, Flawless is saying hello to Haro.
Yeah, he needs to contest the wards that are currently placed down. Blue buff on Scout means that if it comes down to a mid lane push battle, if Scout can get a push on towards this lane, then Haro has the opportunity to start clearing this out.
Raz Haro is a full level down on Flawless right now. There's nothing on the side of this jungle.
It's a hard life.
Soloed by the enemy jungle. He's down to a third HP. Flawless completely zoned it away, takes down the ward. And yeah, Haro has nothing on the bottom side of the map. He can't go to Crab, he can't go to anything, so he has to go top side now to get level 6, and he's still another camp off after these crooks.
Yeah, it ain't looking good. And the one major weakness of Camille is her clear, but also because how Haro spent his time, both bottom lane and top lane, fishing for counter ganks means that you're not spending the time Flawless wasn't clearing out camps. Also, he took Raptor camp, so Flawless was just an experience ahead because of that.
Here's the wall. Flawless comes right across, but takes a lot of damage. Face first. He's already dead. literally delivers himself on the silver platter. Scouting from the mid lane, joining me with the same, but he's also separated from the squad. And Scout is starting to move forward. SMLZ needs to evacuate the premises, but Scout is following. Doinby about to fall, but we need to see what's happening right now. Gonna find Kahlua with the escape alongside SMLZ. Mako's following, looking for that Shadow Dash, and Scout may give up the Ghost right here, but EDG are just like, if you want to get his kills, we'll take him.
Look, we warned them. We told them that Talia is not the person who wants to be going in face first. This is what happens. And so ultimately, yeah, the wall comes through, but you don't have anyone to start the fight off.
Oh no, SMLZ, here comes the cannon. He doesn't even need the ultimate. We'll just find you and kill you.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Amp Tome in the bank, AP cannon engaged. And an AP cannon in a composition that's starting to really spiral out of control. It's pretty damn scary.
And it's cannon, yeah, he's got the Predators on the Sword Boost. He's getting massive right now. But let's take a look at that one more time because, we didn't see that the first time. The sidestep and Flawless literally comes in a high speed to die. It was a comedy of errors.
Hi boy, flashing out of that one as well, so the flick didn't land. Nothing landed on this
Can't
kid.
touch him.
And so this is when you start really going Monka-esque because what do? Everything failed, your jungler's gone, and thank the Lord that Scout got exhausted because he always comes into a fight with 5 soul fragments. So he ended up getting the blast out, didn't do enough damage. But EDG are just ready.
They really are. I mean, it was two things there. Yes, iBoy was dodging everything like the Matrix. Just going full Neo right there. But at the same time, it was doomed to fail, right? Like Rogue Warriors tossing their Talia in without perfect timing, without anything to just interrupt the fight. It's like, take me, here we go. Doinby follows up with the ultimate way too late. Didn't even get it from a full health Talia because there was too much distance being opened up. It was a miscommunication between Flawless and Doinby to start it off, and then it just compounded on itself.
Yeah, miscommunication and a misread on their composition. That one's what's probably hurting Coach Steak a little bit in the back. Yeah. Because you're right, in terms of SMLZ, didn't land his ultimate. That's fair. You don't expect it to with the Lucian pick. It's going to be pretty easy. He has a lot of options of getting out of that. But following up, Flawless driving right through. We said that this composition cannot be the one that pushes forward first. Yeah. They don't have the opportunity of doing that if Ashe ult does not land. Or maybe if Doinby is in the position and uses his taunt flash. Like, that's another way to start the fight. But if they don't have that, there's nothing else. So they need to be reactive. They need to just slowly buff SMLZ up in lane because he's been doing a really cool job at like pushing this in and chipping at the tower. Yep. But they just jumped the gun.
Absolutely did. And I mean, I understand the composition. Of course, we could have had something better to actually get in there with the Doinby Galio on top, but I understand what was coming out of Stake. Of course, Clement actually got the chance to sit down with him recently in a face-to-face, so look out for that on YouTube very shortly. Will be coming your way just to get his thoughts on the current meta and how he's been doing with the team. Because Stake, since he joined Rogue Warriors, I mean, it all came together at the right time. It was the perfect storm.
Yeah, and my question, and I hope it gets answered, always comes down to how much freedom do you give the players that you have? Because of course, Doinby has his picks, love to play Kled. How much is it, I need to pick this champion now, or like, mixing it into the proper compositions, proper practice regimen? So, it's information I want to know.
Yeah, for sure. We've even heard it from the horse's mouth because Doinby in interviews has said that the team gives him much more freedom now. If he wants to run Kled in the mid lane, it's like, all right, heck yeah, go for it, Doinby. And we've seen a lot of success for it as well. So a lot of that will be on Stake's head. Here we go. Hara is actually just taking the Herald right now. Putting this in a lane, surely. Just going to get this last eye. There we go. Perfectly timed. So where's it going to go, Raz? Where is he going to place down his Herald?
Alrighty. Well, if they put it in the side lane, it gives Doinby an opportunity to attack it, or at least look to defend with ulti. So that's one way if you're EDG, you don't want Rogue Warriors back into the game. So I would say challenge mid lane. Send Shen alongside Camille. Look for, I wouldn't say a dive on towards the Galio, but essentially try to pressure him. I think that's the way you go and you send it mid lane.
Give it a shot. Maybe stick it in the jungle, pay a bit of plinko with Shelly. See where she goes. I think he goes on some walkabout sometimes, but yeah, mid lane would definitely make a lot of sense. Scout, you've been setting up the wave right here as well, and can do any of that in the next 4 minutes. Here you go, Doinby just pushing up this mid lane as well, just neutralizing these waves as we're again tracking the junglers. Flawless into the bottom side of the map.
Ooh,
And,
here we go.
activating it early right here, Raz.
Does he have support? This is my question. You're seeing the full bottom lane of EDG coming in too, so they're bringing in just about everyone except for top lane. So they know that they can get this mid lane tower down. It's going to be a few auto attacks if this goes through.
Here's the charge on the cannon wave as well. Here comes the Abyssal Voyage out from Kahlua into the bottom side. Rightly, EDG back away. Doinby pushing forwards. That's the double shadow dash, and we're throwing all the ultimates into the front line right now. Kahlua caught out. Here comes Doinby, but everyone evacuates in time. Mouse in from the top lane. Oh my god, Scout! Calm down! 2 kills to EDG.
Saw the opportunity, flashes in, perfectly nets the kill. 2 for nothing. EDG challenged it. Rogue Warriors said that we are going to get the team fight if you're trying that hard to get the tower, and they ended up losing.
We were talking about Scout and how he's got a perfect read on a Demonic Ascension, when he can jump in, when he can deal that damage, and that was it right there. Only he saw that opportunity, and he destroys Rogue Warriors.
Rogue Warriors tried their hardest to pick the fight, dissuade EDG, push them away from the tower. EDG says, we're doubling down. We know we can do this. Perfectly getting out of this situation while still dealing damage. And look at Scout. I don't need to say a damn thing. Beautiful.
You almost want to turn away when you see that. Dirty stuff. Scout, fantastic reinitiation right there. And that wasn't even all of the wombo combos hitting together, you know. That wasn't Ray coming with the Maelstrom, followed by the Demonic Ascension. It was just like, it was layered, it was calculated, EG backing it away at the right time, playing the ebb and flow of the battle perfectly. And now they are 5-0. This is still a perfect game out of EDG.
And now, right now, if I'm Rogue Warriors, I don't know how to play this one out. Because it's full reactive on their side. Sure, you could say throw out an Ash Arrow. Do you even follow that Ash Arrow up? Because the entire idea, Rogue Warriors honestly played that one as well as they could. They shouldn't have challenged it.
Yep.
But their composition was throw in the Galio ulti and see if you can possibly play this one reactively. Find out whoever's knocked up. But EDG has a lot of great dashes and ways to disengage from these team fights. Dash on Lucian, dash on Shen. Of course, Lucian can still deal damage while going backwards. That's what happens when you have the culling. There's a lot of ways to just disengage from a lot of the CC knock-up that Rogue Warriors have. So Rogue Warriors really don't have a way into this game unless a Flawless gets a proper flick.
Aside from potential picks, but this is going disastrously wrong.
Ah!
Doinby gets caught out on this one. And Scout, he might go down here. Yeah, it will be the first kill of the game over to Rogue Warriors. Let's try to turn it. But here comes Cannon. The lightning rat goes into the Maelstrom. He falls for this, but it will be Kahlua dropping in tandem. 4 kills to EDG.
I mean, right now, Rogue Warriors' most valuable member on this team is that tower, because it's the only one netting kills right here. EDG are just relentless, diving these towers, 4 members down. They know that they have a clear advantage this game.
Insane stuff, and hey, they don't need that perfect game against Rogue Warriors because they will always trade up. They took 4 kills and a tower off of that, Raz. Gigantic. Mouse is hitting the top lane tower, but we've got a TP coming in. Oh, we've got a TP to respond. Yeah, amazing. All right, and Mouse, well, in Mouse's head as well, he's just like hitting the tower over and over again, and so much happened in those like 5 seconds.
He's like, please don't challenge me. Please let me get something on the map. Because he's not going to be able to help bottom lane. TP disadvantage for Rogue Warriors because Mundo doesn't have it for himself. So Kennan's going to be very easily available for this. Flawless comes in for the one pick that we were looking for. Deleted. Scout is on form. But remember, the tower has that Rogue Warriors jersey on. So he's going to be able to at least give Rogue Warriors some of these kills, the only 2 that they have. And so you see the elongated fight. Mundo in the top lane. Like, what is he going to do? At least he gets the tower with the support of the TP.
Poor Mouse. I mean, what's a poor Mundo to do in that situation? Yeah, so he takes the tower. But once Kennen gets his on his hourglass, it's going to be even more deadly. Right now, he's just gunning towards damage. Looks like he's going pro belt next on this one because there are so many threats on this team. Can afford to do so. If he goes down, you're going to know that he's done a lot of damage before he did. And we saw that in that bottom fight right there. Takes the tower. EDG now 2 towers to 1. And Rogue Warriors, even in these fights, are still unable to find any real purchase on Edward Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Right now, the focus goes towards Baron, and I guess you look for the Hail Mary. Yeah. EDG have a lot of pressure here. They're even sending iBoy with red buff that they're placing the control wards down. At some point, they're going to start the Baron buff, and it has to be Rogue Warriors that respond properly.
EDG looking for a potential play in top side, yeah, controlling that mid because the tower's already down. Now they're pushing into the jungle, placing that vision, looking to see where they can pivot around because, as you mentioned, Dragon and rather Baron, but in fact both coming up in the next minute or so. Now EDG just staying in fog of war, rotating when they can. Multiple on the way pings into the bottom lane because they've spotted themselves a mouse. Now, will this be a mousetrap or will he be able to escape? That's the question, because here comes Scout. Looking for that never move will be important so we can land the Shadow Dash. The flash comes in from Mouse. He'll probably be happy with this one because that will be big in the next fight.
Now, Baron on the opposite end. Rogue Warriors, you need to send members in that area. Right now, Galio's getting pushed into his own tower, so with all of the pressure that EDG had bottom lane, Haro's just guarding this Baron area. You're not taking anything. My team is going to be able to gank the bottom lane while I defend the Baron. This is upsetting.
The one-man defense. The gatekeeper. He's doing it well.
At least Killa was looking these away.
Yeah, one by one.
Don't pan away from him. There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't taste particularly good, but
you need to follow his entire journey.
Now what's he doing now?
There's nothing else that he's looking. Let's go away from him. He's not doing anything interesting anymore.
Anyways, how are we doing? 20 minutes into this game, Baron has spawned. Will be a big contention point in this game, Raz, for certain. As Maker now runs it down the mid lane. I want to take a look at how the AD carries are doing, actually, because they will be definitely people we have to look towards, especially SMLZ, who is on 1 item and a half for himself. On the opposite side, iBoy has gone for his QSS. We look towards the other big carries, you know, Kennen, Swain. They're sitting pretty right now, moving towards their third items. Or rather, Kennen is moving to his second item. Swain has just completed his.
It's interesting to see SMLZ likely going to war the Phantom Dancer, single target damage that he gets for himself. He's going to be able to at least have some form of protection going up against the dive, AoE damage that EDG has. So he's going to be their primary form of, I guess, offense and a little bit of defense. It's going to be interesting to see if his utility even matters here. Right now, Rogue Warriors are really just hoping that Flawless and SMLZ can deal some damage in these fights because they're the only hopes that they have in this gun.
That's the thing, really. We are looking towards the big next major team fight. That's the way that Rogue Warriors like to try and win these games, because that's what they're good at. But Edward Gaming seem like they are just powered up across the board. There's that second item now completed from SMLZ, but I felt like just on a head-on confrontation, as we've already seen during this game, Edward Gaming will just steamroll them.
Yeah, it definitely would be. Right now with QSS, Essence Reaver on Lucian, that's where your eyes go. You get drawn into for EDG. That even though you see all of these items starting to get completed by Rogue Warriors, EDG are just looking phenomenal. They already have the level advantages just across a few of the members. 2 levels behind is SMLG. Where are you going?
To the top lane, iBoy potentially caught out here.
Oh,
There's
no!
the arrow. This time it finds its mark. But here comes Scout into the top lane. Never move lands. The rest of the team on its way. Mako low. Mouse looking to follow, but there's not the full commit yet from Rogue Warriors.
They're surrounded.
Here comes the teleport. Mako low. Here goes into the perfect timing. Where's Kennen though? There's the triple taunt coming out. This is good from Rogue Warriors. Now onto Scout. He's healing up. Where's the counterplay?
Woo!
Ray, let's go! 5-man ultimate caught in the maelstrom. So many kills going down, and EDG wiped them!
That was beautiful from Ray. It really seemed like EDG had lost hope in that skirmish. They were all scattered. But Ray came in, Ray cleaned up, and it's now looking to be Baron.
My God, Raz, this is why I want to see some AP Kennen. What an ultimate out from Ray onto the Baron, and EDG turn that one around.
Nofe's looking at this and he's like, that's really giving me some Smep feels right now.
Oh yeah.
Way back in Worlds, beautiful performance from Ray. And I know we're gonna have to roll that back to a replay. So take a look at this. iBoy, immediately the target. You gotta save him at some point. So the TP comes through and you're looking like maybe EDG can follow this up, but the Galio finds a way in. Mouse is already looking to surround his former teammates. This looked excellent from Rogue Warriors, where EDG were just honestly scattered. No mana on Scout as well, but one member is what matters. It's just the maelstrom from Ray, and he blows them all up.
My God, Ray. This was disgusting out from this Kennen player. And it looked, as you said, so good. We took a timeout mid-team fight because Scout was inside his Zhonya's hourglass. He was healing up, but it was all just waiting for the storm to approach out of this Kennen. Fantastic from EDG.
And I know Marin is in the area. His team played earlier today, taking some notes.
He's in Chongqing. Definitely watching this one. Now pushing into the mid lane are Edward Gaming. Mako and Scout here with this minion wave, just sieging away slowly. Doinby stepping forwards for his team. Nice little combo there onto the back line of minions, but this tower is not long for this world, as this cannon minion will finish it off. Meanwhile, on the top lane, iBoy just finding some paperwork, taking down this tower, standing gold. Now, there was a lot of damage coming in from multiple members of EDG. Yes, Kennen came at the end to finish everyone off, but it was started off by iBoy and also the Swain in the midst of the fight.
Pretty absurd to see the damage that Lucian was able to output while being on the defense. Running back, kiting back, exceptional play from iBoy. That's what you can do as a Lucian when you just throw out Cullings. So, see how much he's able to achieve while not really being in the office. So well done from EDG, iBoy, and especially Radiant.
Yeah. I'll say in that team fight that the chimes were singing. You could definitely tell that a storm was on horizon when iBoy walks back face first into the arrow and Rogue Warriors like, oh, okay, and they start backing away because they knew that people were on their way. But you're right, it looked good for so long. And that is the type of fight that you want to see from Rogue Warriors, for them to come back into this game, as I get nervous every time that someone steps forwards into this meat grinder.
There's going to be 4 things to watch out for. 2 Zhonyas on Galio and Talia, and then the EDG, 2 stopwatches for the Kennen, and of course for the Camille. So we're in a position where Ray does want to find himself engaging this. If he can put out a push on the top side of the map, rotate towards mid, and find themselves another slash maelstrom, then he can actually get the fight going for his team.
Mal slow, but clutch save there from Kahlua gives him time to regenerate. Edward Gaming still pushing this tower. Here comes the Galio right on top of Mouse, but he's right into that perfect timing. Tower's dead. Here comes Horo into the fight, pushing forwards again. There's the ultimatum onto the tank line. Mako locking him up, but here comes Ray into the back. Once again, he's low. Has to go into his perfect timing. Rogue Warriors are kiting back. They've lost one, but they're still trying to hold. Doinby doing what he can. Oh, Doinby with the mid-fight BM. But for now, is it all for naught? Because EDG, while they're low, are still moving forwards. Kahlua dead. Doinby, the only one left alive.
I don't know, at this point it seems like he's accepted his fate. You could say it's BM, but he's at a point in the game where he's like, I don't know about this one. Let's FF. Wait, where's this going? Oh, there's no FF in this game.
No, we're going. He wants some cleanup. He saw those blinking red health bars. He knows there's someone he can kill. Swain says hello with the visions of Empire, and they're on their way back to base.
It's unlucky that he met the minion wave. Usually you don't want to get seen while you're going in for a flank play. So this Bald Eagle
alerted the guards, unfortunately.
Bald Eagle's going up top lane now.
Yeah, well, at least he'll get 2 waves over for himself, but let's just take stock real quick in this game as we take a look at this team fight once more. It actually starts off with Mouse getting chunked out, which we didn't see on camera the first time.
Yeah, what we did see was this portion of it, when he ends up utilizing his ulti at the very beginning of the fight. So he's not going to be very useful. And even using the Galio ulti to what is a stopwatch scout, yeah, not working out for you. So at this point, Rogue Warriors have no resources to continue on this fight. They're going to back up out of here. It's nice to still see SMLZ outputting this much DPS in towards the back line, so he's getting a lot of use here, but not enough, as iBoy just chases him out.
Pretty much.
Did he get the kill? Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, he did. You're right.
Came out with the culling. I mean, to be honest, a large portion of that fight didn't look that bad for Rogue Warriors. They were kiting back well. Yes, they've lost the tower already, and it was breached, but they were still able to kite back, and you're right, SMLZ was putting out a lot of damage.
It's real fun. I would say the takeaway from Rogue Warriors, even after getting what looks like 2-0, if this is how it ends, it's very, very combative. They don't just end up falling down and dying like BLG has had so far this split. So even though I technically said, yeah, could end up looking like a 2-0, Rogue Warriors have found themselves 2 games in a row while being exceptionally far behind, taking out what looks like teamfight wins at the very beginning.
Yes.
So you never want to count your eggs yet.
Before they're patched, yeah. I know what it is.
Before they're put in the basket.
Yep. Yeah, don't put them in the basket. Rogue Warriors are definitely a force to be reckoned with no matter what stage in the game they are. Their team fights always something to be reckoned with. And teams right now across the Asian region will be watching this and know that they have to be cautious around Rogue Warriors, because even then, that far down within the base, they were able to fire back just a little. But Edward Gaming complete control. They have the full package, not just the team fights, but how they play around the map, how they get the advances in the early game, how they play around objectives, and they have been ramping up since the start of the split.
Yeah, it's nice to see both of these teams coming into Rift Rivals looking exceptionally strong. I like the fact that there's consistency in the top 4 teams really showcases that they don't need to change anything between splits. That they just really need to come in with a positive mindset of what ended up happening in the playoffs. Because I would say 3 teams, Edward Gaming learned something going in the finals versus RNG. 100% Rogue Warriors losing to EDG in the semifinals and taking 3rd place. Yep. They learned something. Coming into this split very strong. So just depends on what those lessons turn into. I mean, all of these teams have their eyes on the cup, on the LPL title. It's going to take some time before that ends up happening.
Of course. Both teams consolidating resources right now, picking up this red buff over to iBoy. He's now set on 3.5 items plus that QSS. Mid lane, top lane in similar positions. Now Triforce completed as well by Haro plus the Guardian Angel, so he can jump in and be happy to go down because he's going to come back up and the rest of the team will be there to meet him, hopefully. And EDG, a lot of these fights have been very explosive. Doinby caught on the Grump, whereas the rest of Rogue Warriors, can they respond in time? Here's the Abyssal Voyage, the answer may be yes. Oh! iBoy caught out by the arrow, but he's able to back away with the QSS. Haro just sitting around, but he's going to have the hook shot in just a second, and Ray was thinking about the flank. That could have gone very wrong for both teams right there.
Yeah, but I like that he at least uses Red Trinket to realize that they had a ward on him. They're forcing this. This is going to be a fight.
Baron down to half. Was the steal attempt. Not going to be for now. EDG wants to force the fight right here. They found the front lines and Tamcatcher's already dead. Scouts found him. The follow through of the 1-1 Scout. He's got floors on lockdown. Where's that Smell Z? Nowhere to be seen because he's dead. And now the chase comes in. It's too little. It's too late. And Edward Gaming are running them over. Rogue Warriors, a clean sweep in that fight. A clean ace. And EDG look for the win.
Yeah, the TPs are streaming in. Each and every one of them. This game is over based off that one play alone. Ray, he better get an MVP because he ended this game with his own 2 hands.
Better luck next time, kids. Look up to the real champions. EDG, small spurk there from Clearlove in the back because he wasn't even needed today.
It's the backup soldier there, the Minuteman. Exceptional series from Haro. I know he had a lot of pressure last split because he just wasn't performing. Comes into this one against the perfect Rogue Warriors and 2-0s them.
Edward Gaming 2-0. They hand Rogue Warriors their first series loss of the split, including their first straight up loss of the split, and they almost make it look easy against this previously undefeated team. Handshakes come in, and Edward Gaming, great stuff, really great stuff heading into Rift Rivals.
A lot of love there. You can see former EDG member.
Oh yeah.
Huang himself, Mouse, could not get the win versus his former team. Had a decent performance, but decent is not good enough.
Of course, huge fan support as well from the stadium here in Shanghai for Edward Gaming. It's a packed house, and I would say a good probably 80% of it is for Edward Gaming right here. So that definitely played a small factor into their win today. But Rogue Warriors, they can still come in with their heads held high, because this was a strong day from them here, and they will still do well in Rift Rivals.
Yeah, 100%. Something to look forward to. EDG at Rift Rivals. I mean, last time it happened, it was always fun to see EDG go up against the top-heavy teams. I think last time around they went up against KT Rolster. It was fun to see. And remember at the time, the problem EDG had was Scout maybe going too far with his Talia play. But if Scout comes into the tournament with that Swain play, he'll clean up.
He will indeed. I think that if you're an LPL fan, you can be very happy with how the top 4 are performing right now. The representatives, Invictus Gaming, RNG, all looking great. I mean, Invictus Gaming looking strong, but RNG just looking stronger. And Rogue Warriors taking on EDG here today. Yes, they lost in the 2-0 fashion. Yes, they were fast games, but in those fights, you could see the glimmers of hope. What made Rogue Warriors so strong in this split?
I was trying to figure out who did more damage between Scout and iBoy, but I see 24.9k for Scout, so 24.8k.
Identical. Yeah.
So there we go. I mean, it's funny that we get to see that. I feel like none of them are going to be the MVPs, even though a lot of the times MVP is decided by the stats, and you're inclined to believe the stats are in favor of Scout and iBoy. But the play was in favor of Ray.
Oh yeah.
So Ray,
if we could override that, give it to Ray, because
give it to Ray.
oh, I want to. Hopefully, we have that replay. I want to see it one more time because that. Yeah, you're right. It was Smeb flashbacks coming in from that ult in the top lane. It wasn't in the mid lane. It was in the top lane, but really, really cool to watch. And that's why I love AP Cannon. You can do stuff like that. You can do super cool things. Is this it?
Yeah, this is it.
It is. This is the one.
So take a second look at this, because this is Rogue Warriors once again finding plays when they're behind to fight, to pick up a play. It looks really good. Mako at 30% HP. iBoy just on the run because he was in a poor position, getting knocked up by, of course, Galio ulti that's going to come in. But then this is where the real play starts. He comes in with a teleport. All members of Rogue Warriors getting demolished by it. So beautifully done by Ray.
And at that point right there, when the Swain Zhonya's, Rogue Warriors will just camp there, like vultures.
Yep.
Maybe at the point, that should have been like the time to back away, because I don't know if they were just like, guys, does anyone know who Kennen is right now? Because he hadn't shown himself in that 4 versus 5.
I'm not going to criticize Rogue Warriors for making that fight because they were pretty far behind before that. So that looked really good for a team that was that far behind in the gutters. Honestly, most teams would make mistakes in that case.
For sure.
They would. I felt like EDG, any other team would have made a mistake. EDG finds a way with the multiple talents that they have across the map to find a way back into it. So Ray, exceptional outplay to keep the lead that EDG had.
Indeed. Let's follow up with the bot lane fight as well. Of course, in these games, we just have a bunch of fights, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Because it really was just back-to-back. And Rogue Warriors still managed to find at least something. Oh, not this one. This was...
This
was barely a fight.
I'm flashing it. So, like, it's just so cool to see this. Like, every single time you look at the flashy plays coming out of iBoy, and you can say, well, he's a Lucian. Lucian has a dash, and Lucian has a flash. Of course he's going to get out of this situation. But under the lights, under the spotlights on a massive stage like this, and he did it at Worlds too.
Yeah.
Like, this man does not care. His focus is on point in a lot of these situations. And like a good portion of the players in the LPL would at least get hit by the Ash Arrow or the flick to follow up, or maybe even just flash in a poor position. We've seen a lot of flail flashes. It'll happen. But no, he is perfect under that case, and then just follows down, and they win the fight just to kick it all off.
I mean, I'll be honest, Rise, the kid has swagger. And that doesn't stop on or off of the stage, because iBoy is just permanently the same type of person, you know? And I think that's really strong when it comes to these situations. As one of the newer AD carries in the league, you know, it's not his first rodeo, but it's close to. But he's still able to pull off this stuff because it's like, it's just like playing at home, man. I'm going to flash this, I'm going to dodge that, I'm going to quick draw this. It doesn't even matter. So really, really fun to watch iBoy as a player. Let's go ahead and roll the mid lane fight actually from that game as well. See how this one went down. This was this was the Shelly push. Yeah, this is the scout play.
This is the scout play, because all you need to look at is the Swain. 5 fragments strong. I think it's 4 actually.
Yep.
But ultimately, what matters is that he just comes in and gets
still a lot of damage. Oh, it's 5 off of the push. Yeah,
okay, there we go. Yeah, it does come down to 5. And he recognized when he has enough damage to just go in and make the play happen. What? Okay. I guess it was the damage that put him over.
Yeah.
But this is the few times I'll come out and say, I understand. Scout played phenomenally that game. 82% kill participation. The damage off the charts. 32%? Yes, that's insane. But this is when I just close my laptop, throw everything out the window, and I'm just saying, give it to the Kennen. Please.
I agree with you, Raz. See, I wasn't surprised because I'd already cheated. I looked at the Mandarin caster's monitor over there and saw it. But right now, just interviewing the MVP on stage. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad. I mean, Scout definitely deserved it, but damn, that ultimate coming out of Ray. You know what? He takes the English broadcast of the LPL's MVP. How about that? There you go. You got the MVP in spirit, Ray.
We're here for you. But yes, ultimately, Swain did a lot this game.
He did, yeah.
He did a ton. A lot of the fights seemed impossible because the best thing about Swain is if you are that far ahead, you press ulti, you're a big bird.
You're a real big bird.
You're a real big
bird.
On
the Sesame
and
Street.
There's no way to fight into you. So that was the major issue that Rogue Warriors had, is that they don't really have many engage points. It's actually a real struggle to find themselves in the back line. And if you go into the back line, you see a Swain, and he disengages. Like, there's no way, the very least, SMLSD is he's not going to be outputting damage. He's not going to be walking into the radius of Swain's ultimate. So
heck no.
That's just your major point of your play, your team composition, that's just outright nullified.
Well, after that win there to EDG, no one is undefeated anymore. Everybody's down in the mud, fighting with each other. So let's take a look at those standings and see how this one has shaken up now. Because Rogue Warriors in their conference just tipped over to EDG, taking number 1 from them, winning that head-to-head right there, 5-1. And look at that!
Yeah.
All of the Rift rival representatives, 5-1 apiece.
And that's a scar on each and every one of them. They've all learned at least that one lesson coming to this point of the split.
Yep.
RNG losing their first set to JDG. Now, of course, JDG having a phenomenal time themselves, but they won't be traveling anywhere. You know, they're not going to be delivering themselves anywhere anytime soon. But the 4 teams still remaining consistent. We get to see them in Dalian very soon. Hats off to them.
Yeah, it's going to be happening in just a week from now, so get excited for that one because the LPL region is looking very strong. You can see all the information at the bottom of your screen. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to watch that event because I think even more than last year when LPL actually just, won, this looks like a really solid 4.
Yeah, and I mean, last time around, it was just an outright surprise because everybody, including their mamas, none of them watched this game, would assume that Korea would have just won out because they are the best teams with the deepest pockets, I would suppose. In terms of deepest talent, you go to the 4th seed and you still see a strong team. But the issue is now you go into this split, all of these teams are strong. 2 of them, or at least let's say Invictus Gaming, didn't go to an international event, but those teams can go very far, and a lot of the world is respecting them now. So it's interesting to see that no one really knows what's going to happen going into this Rift Rivals.
Yeah, it's stacked for sure. And of course, this is happening worldwide. We've got the EUNA. It's also happening back in the Oceanic region as well. So that's also going to be super cool to watch. I know my entire week is just going to be filled with just watching every single region back to back. Hopefully, you guys at home are going to do the same. For now, though, that is going to be the show. So on behalf of myself, Raz, the entire English broadcast crew, and everyone here in the studio, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you at Rift Rivals.